Well, here's what we got. We got a turntable. Actually, like classroom record player. Maybe late 60s, early 70s maybe. It's made by Newcomb. Looks like it is a PS106. And it takes a Newcomb PP60 or A static 89T cartridge. This was brought in for maintenance because I guess it doesn't run very good. So let's plug it in and see if it explodes. Okay, so this is supposed to be a solid state unit, so I'm less fearful of it catching fire. It doesn't mean it won't. Let's kick the tripod, that always likes that. Okay, so it's off. And, oh good, the grounded power plug has been busted off. That's good for shock value. We might have to just replace that, or at least replace the end on it. Or is this even a 3-wire cord? I don't know. Okay, on. Okay. It's rotating. 16, there's 33. 45 doesn't look like it goes much faster than 33. And 78, she's trying to go. So it's trying to work. Let's see if we have any sound. Okay, let's see, volume. That seems to work. What's the stylus look like? Why does me touching this make horrible crackly noises? That's weird. Or is it this? I don't know. Okay, that's the stylus in 78 mode. It's a flip-flop stylus. Let's see, how's that look? Seems to still have a tip on it. And it makes sound. So we're off to a good start. I don't really hear a lot of horrible humming noise. So, what is this? This is tone. Okay, this is tone. This is volume. Being a educational children's model, or whatever you'd call this, classroom model, these are usually pretty durable. Yeah, it seems to go with enough torque, but I think this has probably got, you know, peanut butter grease in it, if you will. Okay, we got pause and go and off. So this should be a pretty straightforward project, I think. I guess the best thing to do first would be to pop the top here. Let's see, we should just be able to do that with a flat blade. Get the E-clip off. There's the E-clip. Set that over there. And then hopefully that'll just pull right up. Oh, look at that. It actually worked. Now, does this engage and disengage? Yes, it actually does disengage when you turn it off. So that's super because reasons. And that means we shouldn't have any flat spots in our wheel. But, I mean, just trying to spin that by itself, I can see she's a little sticky. Our bearing here, yeah, that's not moving. It's not moving nice. It's moving kind of sticky and yucky. That should be greased. I think looks like riveted down here. What to get under this probably to get some lubricant in that. This one I think we can pop that E-clip and get in there. Y'all are used to probably a million camera edits from me. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this thing and then come back. Well, you're getting this one live, people. Live repair in real time. since I'm fixing an old record player that not a ton of the population really goes bonkers over, I feel like what's our other friendly channel over there? Radio, TV, Phono Nut. Yeah, he fixes stuff like that, except usually he's got more colorful language than I do. There's a whole lot of these stacked little round washers on there. Oh yeah, that grease has turned to peanut butter. That grease is really, really sticky. Cleaning it off will probably work well. The other thing that might just get the job done easier and faster is our Max Pro electrical lubricant. This stuff, like, you can use it on potentiometers, motors, whatever. It's just kind of a wonderful magic sauce. Absolutely, I think this, I mean, just a little touch of that, and we've kind of revived it already, it feels like. That's already spinning way, way, way nicer. This mech all seems to move pretty good. I mean, one would think that, you know, tearing this down to absolute bits to, you know, clean all the old grease out would probably be logical. But if this is going to work, I've had so much success with this product, and yes, I do. I'm a reseller. I'm sold out. Here you go. Kobe's a shill. Kobe's a shill. Shilling for his silly products. Well, yes, I am. But I've had nothing but success with it, so I go with what works for me. And if putting a little bit of this stuff on here is going to save me having to tear it apart, get Q-tips. I mean, I'm not even seeing any visible grease on there. I don't know if they just used a couple drops of oil from years ago and it just dried, or what kind of scenario we're really looking at here. We'll see about putting that E-clip back on, and let's hope it doesn't fly to the moon on here. I think it snapped back on. There it goes. So that's back on. And that spins really nice now. I don't know about that. Let's see if that spins real nice now. This might be pretty straightforward stuff. Not bad. That seems pretty usable to me. Right? It spins pretty nice. Okay, well, we're going to have to re-adhere this to that. Use a little adhesive of some sort. We'll pick that out in a little bit. But let's get in the box and see if there's anything we need to deal with in the box. Okay, kids, well, we're inside. Got a transformer there, motor, PC board. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 electrolytic caps. None of them look leaky. They're actually kind of well, physically leaky anyway. And this being a solid state circuit, I'm going to bet that these never saw a crap ton of voltage. Probably all generally pretty low voltages. And it's not humming, it's not doing anything evil that I can tell at this point. So, another little transformer. Inside the box, the other thing we found was dust, lots of dust. The speaker is actually spring mounted, which is cool, but one of the two connectors that goes on the speaker from the amplifier board ripped off when I tried to unplug it. And there's a schematic in there, check that out. Woohoo! Where's the transistors though? Do you see them? Let's see, I see some diodes. There's diodes over there. Oh yeah, there's one. That's a silicon transistor. This one is. Yeah. Silicon transistor. Are there more? It's probably to set the bias on them, I would think. Oh yeah, there's two. 1, 2. Probably the whole amount of the amplifier circuit. 2 simple transistors. Cool. Okay, so clean the pots. We'll do that. Okay, cleaning pots. This is really like major excitement here. You ready for this? I don't know if you can handle it. I don't know why. I wonder what this extra wiper is. Not like I really care, but just spray your magic sauce inside of the potentiometer, however you can get it in there. Yes, I use Max Pro. Yes, a lot of other people use Deoxit. No, they're not wrong. Deoxit is wonderful stuff. You don't have to use Max Pro if you don't want to. You can use Deoxit and I won't hate you. But big can for the price of a little can. And I'm yet to find anything that I can fault this stuff on. This is actually referred to as electronics lubricant, and I discussed it with the company, and they're like, oh yeah, it's got a cleaner in there. We use that in potentiometers all the time, and it works great. So I said, okay. And I would use their contact cleaner and then follow up with this, and eventually I just started using this, and it seems to just do the job. And there's a oil spot there for the motor, so we'll put a little in there. And then we'll vacuum out the dust rabbits. And then we have to fix the... See, that's the one speaker terminal. That one came off okay. The other one didn't. So we could recrimp it, or I could solder it. Probably just solder it because that's a better insurance plan for me. Like other people who have experienced Newcomb products before, this appears to be a very solidly made turntable, and I don't think we're going to have a lot more work ahead of us. I think we're just going to be cleaning a few pots and oiling a few things, getting it loose and running, run a few tests. Okay, so the speaker lead has been fixed with a shot of solder, and I want to deal with this power cord because I looked back here. The power cord was originally a 3-prong, and somebody did break that off. That wasn't one of those that just looked like it was a 3-prong, but it wasn't. So I've got this plug. It's actually a good high quality industrial plug that I got. This was actually, I remember where that came from. 6 months ago, maybe 6 months to a year ago, I repaired a PV classic VTX amplifier, and the original power cord had been chewed by rodents or a very hungry rock star. So that was obviously in need of repair. So I fixed it by replacing the power cord, because the original power cord had been shortened, and that power plug had been placed on there. And it's a good power plug. This is a weird cord though. You can see how they actually did it from the factory. They had to fork it, and then you have, it's weird, like the white jacket insulates the two main hot and neutral, and then the ground has its own jacket in the middle. I think that's kind of weird. Now in the process of splitting that, I have gotten a little bit of open there, so we're going to just put a little shrink wrap on that. But should be able to, you know, put this in there, seal it up, make it safe. The world will be a happy place. So we're going to do that, and then we'll put it back together and see how it works. Okay, so we're going to test it out. Now, under normal circumstances, of course, it's a turntable, so you'd want to play something classic like Beat the Needles, but we can't do that. So this is like some polka record from the 60s that I got in a collection of stuff. If you remember that really cool Ampeg bass amp that we got, that really cool Ampeg bass amp was owned by a polka musician, and this was one of his polka records. So I've never heard it. Looks kind of dirty, but if I got the volume up and playing around with this doesn't make any crackly noises anymore because we got an earthed plug on there now. Okay, so to me, not being a polka aficionado, that sounds like pretty much every other polka record I've ever heard in my life. But it seems to be playing at the right speed. It's not really wavering much. The horn section sounds a little weird, but that might just be the record. Tone knob works good. Okay, now here's the fun one. This came from a polka musician that I bought an amplifier from. The place that we are now, where our headquarters is, actually used to be a music store, and it was founded by a polka musician. So I think I have a 45 that was one of his that I found in a closet, and it's, again, probably an old rough condition record, but we'll use that to test the 45 speed. Believe it or not, the bass out of this little speaker, which is like what, maybe a 4x8 or something. It's a oval shaped speaker. You saw it in the cabinet. It actually has some pretty good bass response. Well, hooray for that. Now, this particular turntable actually belongs to a gent who does music education, so this is primarily to do what it originally did, basically play music in schools for children. I'm just going to find some adhesive to put the turntable pad back down, but sounds good to me. Everybody polka. I don't know why I left that playing, but for some reason I'm a little bit jazzed about it. Yeah, it's a simple little educational music record player, but it sounds a lot better than I thought it would, and that's actually a pretty nice clear record. I mean, this is I found this thing in the top of the closet, you know, so you'd think this would just be an absolute scratch box, but for playing back music or whatever, this is not a bad player by any stretch of the imagination. It does a great job, so cool. Kudos to him for finding this, and glad I could touch it up and get it working again. Have a great day.